Hello students, this lecture is about the reproductive system of Ascaris or the common roundworm. So this Ascaris is a unisexual organism, which means sexes they are separate in Ascaris. Moreover, Ascaris it exhibits sexual dimorphism, which means that male and female individuals they can be distinguished from each other externally or morphologically. About sexual dimorphism we have already studied in our previous lecture. So in both male and female organisms, these gonads, which are testes and ovary, they are long, thin like a thread. These gonads, if we see in the transverse section, both ovary and testes, their wall it consists of single layer of epithelium, and in the center of the lumen is present a solid core which is termed as rachis. Rachis it consists of a syncytial cytoplasm, which means many cells they fuse with each other and their cytoplasm it become continuous. Around the rachis is present white lumen into which the developing gametes they are present. So this is the transverse section of the ovary as well as the testes. These gonads of Ascaris they are termed or they are referred as telogonic, which means that gametogonia, which are the stem cells or the mother cells which produce the gametes, ovum as well as the spermatozoa by the process of gametogenesis. These gametogonia they proliferate or they germinate only at the terminal portion of the gonads. So such gonads they are termed as the telogonic gonad. These gonads they can be differentiated into three regions. This is the longitudinal section of the gonad of Ascaris, which can be divided into three parts. This terminal part from here to here is termed as the germination zone. It is a portion in which these gametogonia, spermatogonia in case of the testis and oogonia in case of the ovum, these gametogonia they originate or they germinate. So that is why these gonads they are termed to be telogonic. Then this next part, this middle portion from here to here, it is termed as the growth zone. In the growth zone, these existing gametogonia by the process of gametogenesis they change into gametocytes. Then the next, this last portion, this lowermost part is termed as the maturation zone. In the maturation zone, again the gametogenesis is it continuous and the gametocytes they convert into mature gametes, spermatozoa in case of the testis and ovum in case of the ovary. So these are the transverse section and the longitudinal section of the gonads of the Ascaris. And now next comes the female reproductive system. The female reproductive organs of Ascaris they are present in the middle third portion of its body cavity. The female reproductive organ are in case of Ascaris they are didelphic. Didelphic means most of the reproductive organs they are present in pair or they are present in two sets, which means there are two ovaries, two oviducts, two uteri. These last two structures, vagina and the female genital aperture, they are single. With the help of this diagram, now let us see the female reproductive system. The first two parts of the female reproductive system, which is ovary and oviduct, they are long, thin like a thread, and usually this ovary and oviduct they remain coiled around the uterus like this, how it is shown on the left side. On the right side, these ovary and oviduct they are shown after unwinding. So externally these ovary and oviduct they cannot be distinguished from each other as both of these they have similar diameter. The main difference between ovary and oviduct can be viewed after their transverse section. In the center of the ovary, as we just did, is present this solid core which is rachis, and this rachis is not present in the lumen of the oviduct as well as in the lumen of the uterus. So this rachis is present in ovary and it is not present in oviduct and the uterus. The function of the ovary is to produce ovum, and the function of oviduct is to carry these ovum from ovary to the next part, which is uterus. And then the next portion is the uterus. There are two uteri, and both the uteri they are comparatively wider and straight tubes which run from the posterior towards the anterior part of the body. The main function of the uterus, the first is the fertilization. It occurs in this lower part of the uterus, and this lower part of the uterus is termed as the seminal receptacle. Apart from that, usually these uteri, they remain packed with numerous fertilized eggs, or which are also termed as the capsules. In the anterior part, these two uteri, they join each other and they open in a very small tubular structure which is termed as vagina. Then this vagina, it opens on the ventral surface through a very small aperture which is termed as a female genital aperture or the vulva. This female genital aperture is present on the ventral surface of the body at approximately 1/3 length of the body from the anterior end. So these are the main female reproductive organs of the Ascaris. And now next comes the male reproductive system. The male reproductive organs in Ascaris, they are present in the posterior 2/3 part of the pseudocoelom, and the male reproductive organs, they are monoarchic, which means all the male reproductive organs, they are present in single set only, which means there is single testis, single vas deferens, one seminal vesicle, and all these other structures. So here is the diagram showing the male reproductive system of Ascaris. Here again, the first two parts, which is testis and vas deferens, they are long, thin, like a thread, and they cannot be distinguished from each other externally, as both these, they have similar diameter. But again, the difference is same. In the testis, rachis is present, and in the vas deferens, the rachis is not present. The function of testis is to produce spermatozoa, and the function of vas deferens is to carry these spermatozoa from testis to the next part, which is seminal vesicle. So here in male, single seminal vesicle is present, which is a comparatively wider and straight tube which runs from anterior towards the posterior position, and near its posterior end, the seminal vesicle, here if we see in this magnified view, magnified diagram, the seminal vesicle, it joins another next tubular structure which is termed as the ejaculatory duct, which is a smaller tube. This ejaculatory duct, it has a muscular wall. Then in the lower part, this ejaculatory duct, it joins with the rectum of the alimentary canal, and both the ejaculatory duct and the rectum, they open in a common chamber in the lower part of the body, which is termed as the cloaca. And then this cloaca, it opens out by a small aperture which is termed as the cloacal aperture. This cloacal aperture is present on the ventral surface of the male Ascaris, just little behind its posterior most tip. So this cloacal aperture is a common opening for both the reproductive system as well as its digestive system, unlike the female organism, in which there are two separate openings for the alimentary canal and the reproductive system. This digestive system's opening is anus, which is present near the posterior end, and the reproductive system's opening is this separate female genital aperture which is present near its anterior end. And now coming back to the male reproductive system, below the cloaca is present a very small pouch or sac-like structure which is termed as the pineal sac or the spicule sac. In this spicule sac is present one pair of needle-like cuticular structures which are termed as the copulatory spicules or the pineal spicules. These pineal spicules, one pair of pineal spicules which are present only in the male, they protrude out through this cloacal aperture. These pineal spicules, they help during the copulation process. So these are the main parts of the male as well as the female reproductive system of the Ascaris, and that is all for today's lecture. Hope you understood it well. Thank you so much.